Hello YouTube viewers, newer and old alike. Today I'll be talking about another SM64 ROM hack. Not just any ROM hack, but the first ROM hack, at least for the major hack category. Super Mario 64 The Missing Star is the name, and it was created by Fraber? I can't pronounce it, I'm so sorry. Which was released on April 19, 2009. This ROM hack actually has a special place for SM64 gaming for me because as it is the first major ROM hack to exist, it was my first experience to any ROM hack in the emulation scene. I played this on viz.com on my high school's computer because I had nothing better to do. What? You expect me to actually learn and not have fun in school? Kids these days, too busy with devious licks and all that delinquencies. Real school rebels don't care about clout. We do whatever we want and care not who knows, but I digress. Sadly, Viz.com would get the Nintendo Ninja assassination treatment for the last time I was able to... Oh, maybe they went to the store to get some milk. That's what my dad did. Childhood abandonment aside, this site had Super Mario 64 The Missing Stars. I had my plugin set and began to play it. So The Missing Star opens up with the classic... It's me, Mario! But instead of showing Mario's head, it shows the game title with flashy text, nice background, moving stars that while I was editing this, I noticed if you count each star on the screen, you end up with 38 stars, which is the number of stars you need to complete the ROM hack itself. That's pretty awesome and damn sure didn't notice it when I first played it. So booting into the game, you might have noticed the clear difference the save select screen has unlike the original. And yes, you can play as Mario, but if you use the D-pad, yes, at long last, Luigi is playable. Oh, no. I'll just split with player one because that thing is just cursed. Like, what is his head? What is those legs? What is that body? Like, his voice as well is just the anti-Super Smash Bros. 64 treatment. His voice is deep as hell, man. So this ROM hack contains 8 courses. Main city area, Koopa's house, outside city area, abandoned shack, the undergrounds, inside the volcano, secret woods, and Wendy Temple. Also a secret area that's not so secret, but it's not much to it besides hit red switch, get free star. Main city area. Well, at least it has a house in the pool. This area acts as a hub that connects to 4 different paths in the game, but the game requires you to obtain 4 stars before you can branch to a different path, besides the pipe that leads to the red switch and free star. The first thing I did when I was younger was not try to talk to the first Goomba on site, but try to squish the tiny innocent creature. I was young and new to ROM hacks. It actually freaked me out that the game lets you talk to enemies, especially the possessed piranha plant. But what is awesome about all the NPCs in the game is that some of their dialogue actually changes depending on how much stars you've collected, which for 2009 was new to see. Also, I used the most recent console compatible 2.0 version of the ROM, and yes, you can play this game on actual N64 hardware, thanks to David, if you have an EverDrive cartridge, of course. A neat addition to love and appreciate is the custom star tracker on the bottom left. Considering the game was clearly different from Vanilla's Super Mario 64, not everyone is going to know when they fully cleared a level, and even the cursed piranha plant mentions it as a feature if the custom heads-up display wasn't obvious enough. But before I talk about the other levels, I want to mention the one iconic addition that was implemented into the game, which was the day and night cycle. It could either help or hinder you from getting certain stars, as well as making the Goombas more aggressive. Fast as hell, bomb mobs sometimes explode on contact, and the damage that the enemies deal overall is like OP. Bomb mobs would take like half your HP, Goombas would take like 3 HP away, and I'm pretty sure that was frankly all the enemies that you really face besides bosses. Everything else seems pretty standard. The electro bobs, or whatever they're called, do like 1 hit of damage, and the fire just does the same amount of damage as well. Koopa's house. A small area that isn't too much to talk about. Pipes all around. Some contain warps, some contain coins, some contain dark disappointments that lead to nothing, which is like the vast void in my heart into the depression that is life itself. But just like the vanilla Super Mario 64, once you complete an act, the next act changes the few things that allow us to obtain the next star by racing Koopa the Quick. Like Bob-omb Battlefield, defeating King Bob-omb lets you be able to race Koopa the Quick, but this time cheating definitely is the best thing to do here. So I'll kick to the other side of the wall to get to the pole. I made the mistake being fair before and I won't do it again, but rightfully so. Koopa questions how we beat his 6-second pace, accepts defeat but yeets the star into the air, which to be fair, we did cheat him out of it, and I found it ironic that the same wall we jumped over to cheat is the same wall needed to get to Koopa's rooftop that leads to the yeeted star above. Outside city area. Well, it's definitely outside and with a giant inactive volcano. The level was pretty bland outside of the custom volcano asset, a few floating platforms, and a guided flying platform that leads you to Chain Chomp in the sky so you can free it. So in turn, it can break the cork on the volcano, and hopefully Chain Chomp doesn't fall through the floor, soft locking the game. And that, my friends, was the very first true ROM hack gay baby jail. We also fight Thwomp at night, but doesn't really put much of a fight, just like in the original game. The only difference here is the fact that he has double health as well as spitting fire from his mouth. I don't know how fire is implemented, but sometimes it can screw you over when it comes down to doing the whole ground pound and have him crush you but not crush you, and you kind of go right through his body, and you know, that whole cheese. But overall, he's the same as you remember, but the timing for the fireball can screw you over, so be careful not to fall off if it hits you, otherwise the true boss would be climbing back up all over again. Abandoned Shack. As the level's name implies, it is just an abandoned shack with a roof that's pretty weak on a spot under some coins, hint hint wink wink. Here's a suggestion. Ground pound it once. There's a red coin here that made me question what you had to do here until I talked to a Goomba saying that you could ground pound an iron block, and that realization caught me off guard. So there is that. Overall, the stage is small and the best bet is to go for the star in the sky first and watch your step, because that climb is even worse than Thwomp's. The undergrounds. Not much could be said here, given the fact that you only need 3 stars, one at night, one at the day, and one that's the red star coin that doesn't care what time of day it is. Not gonna lie, hitting both purple switches just for King Bob-omb to pop up out of nowhere felt like an E-rated jump scare.
Okay, so the first night is never usually that bad in any of the games, so I'll play through. Oh, fuck! What the fuck? Oh!
Because I was really not expecting that to happen, and just so out of the blue, it just bam, came out of nowhere. But sadly I was collecting red coins, so I dealt with him and his 6 throws later. And he also got the double health treatment as well, which would have been nicer if the nighttime caused him to move faster for an extra challenge, but it is what it is. I mean, it was made in 2009 after all. At least you don't have to throw him like 100 or 50 times. Inside the volcano. The first of 2 levels that threw me out of the loop, because all these paths with seamless level switching, and this one that uses the vanilla act select screen out of nowhere. My best guess is that this was the way of the developer saying this is like a regular level with 100 coin stars, but don't do that for the first time you come here. Just do the acts in no order until you get to the red coin star act. Just trying to save you all the trouble. Also, if you haven't already, red switch is in the main city area with some mushroom platforming. You can get to it no problem. And with that, there's not much to the levels. Just complete the acts and you'll be dandy. Wendy Temple. So in order to get here, go back to the abandoned shack, go to the single mushrooms in the middle of 3 trees, and you're there. There's actually a Goomba in the main city area that mentions the whole secret of the mushroom, and there's also like a shy guy that asks if maybe the Goomba was lying about it, which is like kind of a neat detail if it wasn't already obvious that there's clearly a secret there. But you know, just for people who are newcomers and are just like, I don't know where to go, what I'm doing, or why I can't get the green switch, but you know, just for people who don't know it. But other than that, this area is well windy, and considering it's where you get the metal cap switch, it's a pretty good placement. Also, I like how these iron blocks you platform on causes the wind to stop, as a detail of the wind not being able to move the blocks made from a heavy material. Hit the switch, get the red coins, the star for it, and the 1 star at the top of the temple. Yes, this is a temple. Secret Woods. Now that we have the metal cap, we can hit the switch in the river in the outside city area to lift up the platform that leads to the next level. So this entire level looks pretty much like some cut content you'd see online in a YouTube video, but at the same time, compared to all the other levels so far, it feels like it has more effort put into it. Since it's the last level, it probably was the last to get worked on and add more of that effort into it, because it really kind of shows. With the custom ground elevations, the dark forest light coloring to the grass, a mini cave with a cage-like block thingy, which is frankly just a reskin of the sand area blocks that would crush you or have a hole that you can escape from being crushed, and a custom giant tree. It's really unique compared to the other levels that use the same flat level grounding. As usual, get all the stars you need and you'll be able to fight the big fight. Oh yeah, and Beauty Piranha is here. He is also cursed. He's obviously King Boo, but damn if this wasn't already freaky. They decided to go all the way with that possessed look. Once we have all 38 stars, we see the whole gang here to give us the laydown about the plan to defeat Bowser. And for the first major hack, ending the game with the Fire Flower power was revolutionary. Nowadays, it's pretty bland when compared to what modern hacks have done, but man, was it a sight to see around the time. A little weird that it did use the D-pad to shoot the fireball instead of the unused L button, but man did it pack a satisfying punch just to see Bowser fling back and forth and just without being able to really recover. Just like all the other bosses, Bowser himself has more HP, but he's literally no match for the Fire Flower, which now that I think about it, had to be a classic Super Mario Bros. Callback, because who didn't try to save the flower power in order to defeat Bowser at the end instead of just hitting the axe? Another detail that added some cool tension was the fact that with each attack on Bowser, a piece of the stage would fall down, giving you that this is definitely the final fight. So after Bowser is defeated, we don't get a credit scene in the 2.0 version since the console couldn't handle it or something along those lines. Maybe some glitchings. If it's going to be compatible for consoles, some things have to go. It was probably no different than the vanilla credits, just showing a mixture of the custom levels and all that stuff. So that was Super Mario 64, The Missing Stars, an iconic ROM hack for the Super Mario 64 hacking scene, and though isn't the best looking, had its own ideas that we see now be vastly improved on nowadays. And frankly, I hope it gets a remake it oh so deserves. Apparently there's someone called eDark who's supposedly remaking this, which is cool and all, but I couldn't find much on the matter, and with the most recent comments on the site asking on who eDark is and where to find them, not much was really stated besides the fact that eDark was credited in some music ports and not much more information than that. But since music has been brought up, I feel I should mention the music because some of the tracks here are for games I'd eventually play or felt familiar but didn't remember it at the time. Frankly, the music doesn't really add much other than background music since the level design was pretty basic, but as SM64 hacking is known for outside of impressive levels is the music and how it went from its original tracks and turn it into this. But other than that, I enjoyed this then, and I definitely enjoyed replaying it now. But I'm even more glad I can make a video showcasing it for you all. And with that, this has been Super Mario 64, The Missing Stars. Now, with all that said and done, good nostalgia aside, feeling good being able to play something old, but still feeling as if it's gold, I can only say this: good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Where you may reside, hopefully you are doing good, your friends, family, and close ones in your life alike. Thank you for watching the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I hope to see you next time, and be easy, my friends. Peace out.
Thank you so much for playing my game.